Hey, man. Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? I put in the thumbnails. Okay. Mafia drama, all the channels, everything. John A. Light, Jimmy Calandra. It's all hype. And then when you bring them up, then you go to their channel and they get more subscribers and views. But there was a lot of stuff said about uh, Jimmy Calandra. And he's not some of the people's most favorite guy, whatever the backstory is on that. But for the viewer out there, however you take it, however you perceive it, whatever your dispersions are, but it's there's a YouTube video. It says, "Welcome to Heroin City." Back in the 1980s, Mike Codella was a cop, and Jimmy Calandra does a video. This is the video interview with him. And this guy this cop he's well decorated. DEA, crime task force. This Mike Codella did everything in the book as far as fighting crime. And they tell a couple stories on there. And you can look at Mike Codella and Jimmy Calandra was telling him things, and he's going, yeah. And then Codella would elaborate about what, and then Calandra would just like piggyback and just go with the flow. And you could see the posture of Mike Codella as this video went on and goes on, that like he's not really feeling it. Very polite, well-spoken, likable guy, and everything else. And you get the feeling like this Jimmy Calandra's just, and there's a lot has been said about Jimmy Calandra, and that'll get him subscribers and views on his channel. And it's just bash city. This channel's bashing that channel, and who gets credibility. It's all a hustle. Just like I said, it's just all a hustle. But they say Jimmy Calandra, he got punked in prison. Well, John A. Light claims that, and John A. Light can't stand him, and he's just like, if you're living in those neighborhoods, you see those guys, you interact and everything else, but where are you in that family? Are you even made or anything else? I was never a made guy in there. I admit, I was nobody. You see these people and run around. If you could make $1, you could make $1. But I don't try to distort it and amplify it and claim to be somebody I wasn't. I was a nobody, and I was just friends, and I would run around and try to make a damn dollar. That's all. But they really, you really could get a sense of, if you got a keen eye and a keen ear, and you watch these, and you could almost figure out motives and hype and just clickbait and everything else. It's just entertainment, and however you want to do that, you do that. Good morning, Vic. And I just was watching that, and as far as I'm concerned, I want, Jimmy Calandra, okay, there's organized crime associates, and then there's gangsters. What's a gangster and what is this? The gangster is the guy, to me, that goes out and will murder. The gangster will go out and murder, just to put it in its simplest terms. Organized crime, like Mike Francis, I didn't view Mike Francis as a gangster. He's just a good organized crime person. Now, you and anybody else might have different definitions of this loosely used term called a gangster. I just consider a gangster a murderer. I just think organized crime members in a corporation are just organized crime members, and they're not. What's so impressive about that? I mean, the CEO at Amazon is a figure in that operation. He don't get any hype, but all these thumbnails on YouTube. This guy's an asshole. This guy's like all the shows trying to leverage themselves up on what is what. But and here I am, and I really don't like. I'm not a John Alite fan, but I do respect some of the stuff he says, just like anything else. I have nothing against him, but I really like what he said on his show about Jimmy Calandra, because it all comes down to anything else. Check the records. Check the records. And we might only have our perceptions of these guys like, oh, John Alite was never seen with John Gotti and Sammy the Bull, and he's just going, yeah, but John Alite was rolling around. John Alite was a dangerous guy. A dangerous guy. I wouldn't want to cross him today as a 50, however old he is. Forget about the mob and all that. Just the guy he is. He's well grounded in his beliefs and everything. But it's fun. And then Mikey Scars, DeLeonardo, and they say, well, he put 39 people away. He put 80 people away. I do videos about, well, a rat. Well, is it justified to be a rat? I bet a rat before they rat on me. But I would just think a rat was 1 for 1. But when one guy takes down 35 people, 60 people, 80 people, that's not 1 for 1. It's not a true trade. So all the mob YouTube channels are rocking and rolling. I one day I'm with a guy, the next day I kind of skeptical. And that's how these channels leave you. Because there's no public official type of thing that's got the bottom line true information on stuff that happened decades ago and who the actors are, who's still living, who's dead, what's the official FBI record. We'll never know. It's a hodgepodge. It's a crapshoot. And then it just comes down to, well, I like this guy. I believe what he says. And I don't like that guy. And I don't believe anything. And that's what it comes down to. Whose team are you on? But Jimmy Calandra, yeah, he's always talking about 14th Street and 18th Street, Bath Avenue. Well, okay. There was a lot of people walking around there that seen these guys every day. But what operation were you in? What racket were you in? What hustle were you in? Were you, I don't know. You didn't say anything on your video. You throw names around like it's a who's who. Yeah, you got it. You know those names by default. You know them. They're in your neighborhood. And Bath Avenue. So I kind of David BMX says he wasn't. He was a wannabe. Yeah, I'm getting that flavor too, Mr. BMX. And he's trying to grow a YouTube channel. John Alite called him a woman killer. I don't know that somehow a woman died at his. I don't know. And then when he was in prison, they were punking him in prison and everything else. And John Alite was in there, and some other guys, Pete Gotti. And I guess he had to do what he had to do to survive. I respect that. but don't embellish and then go on there. You know, you see these guys, these YouTube mob channel guys, and they like overdo it to be like the complete Guido stereotype. They're completely overdoing it. Look at me. I don't even have a production. I don't have any of that hype shit. You know, for all this production value and all that, because I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. A lot of them piss the bed and shit their pants, and they're all running around. I got a mob channel. Yeah. It's, you know, they're overdoing it. It's all hype. But that video with just to get a more introspective look at Jimmy Calandra. It's a video that he did with an interview with Mike Codella, who was in every agency of law enforcement. And he was willing to do this interview with Jimmy Calandra. And as you watch the video, it's like Jimmy Calandra is just hype. And Mike Codella, the ex-New York City cop, he's going along, excuse me, in a respective manner. He's on a split screen doing an interview, and well-versed in martial arts, had a Jitsu academy down there. He lived in Staten Island or Long Island. And I'm not sure about that, but he was willing to do that, and the video did not do Jimmy Calandra any favors at all. I mean, I don't know why he'd agree to it, you know, just for the hype. Ex-New York City cop, you know, heroin city and everything else. And I think all this YouTube mob channel bullshit is just getting lamer and lamer by the day, by the week, by the month. Yeah, America and the world is fascinated by this topic, and who can piggyback it for any future financial compensation? How do you leverage your in and get a little market share? How do you promote yourself? You see me, I just do it with a grain of salt. I'm going to live my life, do my thing. I am what I am, Popeye, and that's it. But they're so whacked out and trying to hype up Mafia world, and all the old timers would turn in their graves. All the old timers would turn in their graves with all this bull crap going on. It's just ridiculous. You know, some days I like Mikey Scars, and then I look and I dig a little deeper. Yeah, I like a nice, personable guy and everything else. And then you have to judge a person by their past. And the Bible says, judge not, lest you be judged. So, you know, as a person in my mind thinking, oh, yeah, me, how many did you rat on? But then in the Bible says, judge not, lest you be judged, because I'm not perfect. How can I judge somebody? But that's all we do on this social media platform. You know, for what gain? Sensationalism, money, monetary gain, just to be cool and look like a hardcore mob guy. I mean, Tommy Karate exposed Calandra and said everything he says is a lie. Tommy Karate was a bad mamma jamma. He didn't walk the beat to nobody's drum. He didn't. Look up Tommy Karate if anybody watches this video. Yeah, and you know, it just gets and here I am, my channel, doing mob stories and everything else. But I try to put it in a certain perspective. All that other, whatever you want to define it as, is just it's just complete insanity. It's just complete insanity. I mean, some of these ex-mob guys that were really nothing, trying to jump in the game and get a piece of the action. And then it leads to channels mother effing each other. You're a liar. You were nothing. You're a punk. You were a strong arm. You were this, you were that. It's like, geez. But look up that video, whoever comes across this. The video's titled, Welcome to Heroin City. back in the 1980s, Mike Codella was a cop. And you'll see a little more. Just analyze Jimmy Calandra in that video. Just analyze him and how he's speaking and how you figure the guy out. That's all I'm saying. And but what's a gangster, organized crime? I wouldn't consider Jimmy Calandra a gangster. No. I think maybe I'm just like most people that view this stuff is like a gangster is equivalent to how violent you were. And I'm sorry, but you know, a gangster. Now there's gangsters that were violent and smart, true blue gangsters, probably more in the older generations. But I mean, in the previous 40s, 50s, and 60s and 70s, that possessed all of that persona and tools. But Mike Francis was just a great organized crime guy. He was a great thinker. I wouldn't say Mike Francis was a gangster. Oh, he was the boss of. He was like the president, CEO of a corporation. He's just a face for that. And then there's other gangster violence equates gangster. I believe, you know, people question a lot of stuff John Alite says, but I'd say John Alite was a very violent man, even if he wasn't seen in all the pictures and videos that is the only reference point for Joe YouTuber. And you know, well, we never seen John Alite in the picture, and so he did. No, John Alite was rolling around and he was dangerous. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. And he couldn't be made into a family because he was Albanian. So Jimmy Calandra wasn't made into any, you know. He could talk to his blue in the face. Yeah, remember Ricky Ricardo? Remember Tommy? No, remember? Yeah. Well, they're all down there in Canarsie. They're all down there in Brooklyn. They were all there. I mean, you know the people in your neighborhood. You could throw names around till you're blue in the face, but you weren't participating in actual gangster activity. Oh well. But I just saw that, and you know, and then you realize who they narked on. Then then there's people talking about Calandra in prison, and they more or less come right out and say he was just a punk, straight up punk in prison, and that's their narrative on him. And my perception of watching him, and God bless the guy and whatever, it's really not fair. But, you know, I'd have to say he was, you know, kind of lying about his personality and or everything else. You got to survive in prison, and you got to go with the flow. If you're not a tough guy, you got to go with the flow. I wouldn't know. I wasn't in there. So, you know, but sometimes when you think about the rats, I would think, geez, it would be like 1 for 1. But one guy takes down 39, one guy takes down 80. And, you know, but Francis was grandfathered in. Yeah, he was the golden boy. Mike Francis was the golden boy. He's still a golden boy. God bless Mike Francis. And you try to sort all this stuff out, and who did what, who's what, and everything else. And it's just crazy. Who's fighting this week? Tune in tomorrow to find out if so-and-so. It's all entertainment, because believe me, back in the day, if guys were talking shit about each other, they'd be dealt with. See, a lot of these guys have immunity because they already did their time and they cooperated with the FBI. So they have immunity to talk all that shit on YouTube. But if it was back in the real world and you got these guys talking shit back and forth to each other, I'd have to imagine there'd be a little bloodshed. So today is January 18th, 2023. This is the same day I overdosed on fentanyl in 2014. And I was dead and everything else. And I came back to life and I wrote a book, They Dead Missed. And it's on Amazon. And the link is in the about part of the channel. But I wanted to state that I dodged a lot of things. I dodged divine intervention came in and saved me many times during my life. I got spared. I did made some mistakes when I was running errands for a couple of families, and I made some mistakes and I got spared thanks to my angels, and my godfather was an angel that straightens things out. But I want to give tribute to everybody in my family and friends that supported me when I was making my comeback, life support, and getting back in the mix. And God bless everybody that has been in my corner to support me. I never did drugs after that. There ain't even drugs. It's fentanyl. Go ahead and knock yourself out on that garbage. So I'm done with the drugs. It's 9 years today. And thank you, God. Thank you, angels. And I want to give tribute to that. Anybody that's a friend of mine or family or just well-wishers, that thank you so much. It's that love and compassion that keeps everything together. Forget about the mob world and all the violence and all that bullshit, dramatic entertainment, garbage. Love and compassion, all right? At least I throw that in on my channel. Love and compassion is what we got to deal out in the real world. That's real life world stuff. Well, how is any of this Mafia YouTube channel videos going to enhance your life? Entertainment you're going to get from it. Maybe, maybe not. But at the end of the day, none of that shit is going to enhance your life. You know? Thank you, Super Mario. Thank you, Victor. This is what enhances my life. Mario, Victor, DMX. That's real shit. People that care, that are in your corner. That's my money. That's my currency. That's that's all there is to it. You know, I say a lot of times, there's no value in this. There's no value in that. There's some value in entertainment. Yeah, let me watch Sammy the Bull shit. Let me watch Mike Francis. And you could pick and choose. It's a smorgasbord of mob channels. You might like this selection. Well, I want the cheese. I want the crackers. I want the bologna. I want the whatever ham. It's a smorgasbord. And you watch it and you have a right to watch all that stuff. Yeah, you got a right to watch that if it's entertaining. But that's just one aspect of a person's life. You could only, you still got 23 hours left in your day. And this is my 9. I got a birthday. I got a born date, a death date. Then I got another birth date. This is my birthday, my death date, and my new birth date. And I'll have another death date, hopefully 30 years from now. But and that's why I do the spiritual aspect of this channel, because there are angels and demons. I took a journey to the other side when I was dead, and I got a little wisdom and enlightenment. So I said, well, let me do a YouTube channel, try to get some people in there, talk about old gangster stories, my experiences, what's in the book, whatever, and then throw in some spiritual stuff in there, try to get you in the door, hold you long enough that you don't turn off and click off of me by the time I do a spiritual devotion or spiritual commentary. That's my whole goal. That's my market goal. But they froze my subscriber count. I'm not going to trip on that. I say I'm not going to trip on it, but I keep bringing it up. I've satisfied the hours. Like if you could get monetized, even like I'm striving to get monetized, it's a ham sandwich if I got monetized anyways. But if I qualify, I want what's rightfully mine. But they froze my subscriber count. And You need 1,000 subscribers and you need 4,000 watch time hours. I'm 2 hours away from the 4,000 watch time hours. And of course I got 330 subscribers, but it's been froze for 5 weeks. But I says, well, I'm not going to do any channels. I got a sour taste in my mouth, F this shit. But I got to come back and see my people here. Yeah. Mario Mendez, Jojo, I read the book. It's great. I couldn't put it down. Everybody get the book. Thank you, Mario. That was not a paid endorsement either. And I'm a great writer, if you haven't guessed. But thank you. But I was going to shelf the channel. I'm telling a close friend of mine, I had enough. It's frustrating. And then, you get guys like this in here. I've never seen them face to face or shook their hands, but I'm connected to that. Because that's what I promote in the spirituality. We need support. We need support. Mental health is running crazy. Addiction's running crazy. Suicide's running crazy. So I got my people in here. Whatever happens to my subscribers, you guys are faithful to me. I'm going to stay faithful to you. If it's on Amazon Books, Dave. It's on Amazon. Well, I got a link in the about part of my channel. The about part, excuse me, the about part of my channel. There's a link in there. It's on Amazon Books, but there's a link in there and everything else. Go ahead and get it. Maybe I can eat this week. Come on, help me out. No, but it's a great read. I don't think my viewers are really readers of books or anything, but I did it as a testimony because I owed God to give you, the book is all the different parts of my life where I spared death from 4 years old to in my 50s. So I did that. I came back to life. I was given a second chance, and I says, I got to pay tribute. And then I wrote a book, and I did this channel. And then I got frustrated about, this YouTube, you really don't know what's going on, why they freeze your ticker, why this, why that. But as we speak, I'm probably going to have my 4,000 hours satisfied, but my 1,000, I got 330 subscribers. I would have been up to 600-700 subscribers already. At least get me monetized so I could have a bologna sandwich. All right. So that's that. We got the football games coming up and everything else. Thank you, Vic. Yeah, I started out. There was a book critic in England or something, and I don't know. He read my book and he gave me 5 stars. And this guy, those old English man, tut tut and all that rut, tut tut and all that rut. But he was a hardcore dude that never gave he wouldn't give Stephen King 3 stars. He gave me 5 stars. I don't know. You wonder why I'm nuts? He gives me 5 stars and I can't give the book away. Oh, wow. What's wrong with this world? I don't really think that a lot of the people that would watch my channel read books. But if you're interested in that, and a more deeper, I try to write the book and the gangster stuff in there. I try to humanize it and give it a more emotional aspect, the emotionality of my book, the things that was going on and how I felt and brung you along with me in the car, brung you along, take a ride with me. And this is what I'm doing today. This is what's going on. So, and I wanted to stress the emotionality in that, because a lot of the YouTube channel personalities, it seems like it's all robotic. It's all robotic, and it leans to the side of Guido, Guido, strong arm, tough guys. Whatever it is, it is. So thank you, Victor. I'm glad all that. Yeah, David, it's on there. It's on there. That's me. They dead missed. Coming to a movie theater near you. You gotta think big. Oh, there it goes. Where's my assistant producer? So thank you, folks. Yeah, today's the date that I went down. I came back, and that's why I'm thankful, and that's why I do the video. And I should do a devotion today, but I'm tired. Please, God, forgive me. And I got spared. The angels came. They brought me back to life. I was dead longer than anybody ever on the planet Earth, and I'm back. And it's been 9 years. So I thank everybody for supporting me. And I got so pissed off and frustrated about them freezing my subscriber count that I was just gonna bail out, So I was like, well, at the end of the day, even if I get monetized, it ain't gonna be a lot of money. 2 cents a video, 3 cents. You know what? Why throw it all away? Why throw all these good people away? That hung in there with me. So whatever happens with the subscribers, I know I'm pissed off and everything, and I try to play it off. I gotta hang in there. I just gotta keep coming up with some more content, but things come to my mind, and maybe I gotta just. You're only gonna get views from Mafia content, so it's tough. We just play it day by day. So thank you, everybody. God bless you all, and I appreciate your support. Mario, Victor, David, I appreciate it. Victor, Mario, David. You guys are good guys. You helped me out. You kept me motivated all through this all through this ride. And God bless you and your families. I hope everybody rises up. There's mafia stories and everything else, but how could we be a better brother? How could we be a better father? How could we be a better friend? How could we be a better son? How could we be in the real world? Not YouTube mafia fantasy land, which goes on all the time. So that's that, everybody. I appreciate it. God bless you guys. I love you all. God bless you.